everyone. Thank you for joining me. I am Tamara Jean, your spiritual awakening mentor and wellness astrologer here on High Vibe TV. How is everyone doing since the weekend? That energy was a doozy. Just really, quite literally exhausted, right? Just a lot of physical symptoms as we go through this energy and in weird dreams, but the messages coming through quite clear. And of course, today is Monday, April 7th, 2025. And with Mercury stopped now, right, and going to go direct, and it's still in the current human design transit. It's still with Venus and the North Node. All three energies are in the emotions solar plexus center in gate 36. Each of them are being expressed through different lines, but this is still that gate of crisis resolution. And so, right, we're learning how to move through this energy and letting go of fear and anxiety. And we still have the sun in gate 51 in that heart, ego, will center, and the earth grounding the energy in the spleen in gate 57. And all of that, remember, that's about, right, taking that leap. This really is that taking the initiative, right? Having the courage to leap into a new direction for yourself, new life. And with all of the energies and what's being expressed through the emotion center, and the moon is going to be moving into Virgo tomorrow. I'm seeing a lot that's going back and forth between the mind and the heart. And as it makes its way down, when the moon does move into Virgo, that really rules a lot of the GI system. And its gesture is that gut feeling, right? Awareness. And how are you processing things? And like, how are you digesting things? Because it specifically rules the liver, the pancreas, the sympathetic nervous system, the gut-brain axis, the gastrointestinal immune system, along with Pisces. So you can be experiencing a lot of kind of gut things. It's becoming, well, I've been talking about the gut stuff for I don't even know how long. Maybe it's been years now. But I said it was going to be like prime time focus in this nodal cycle with Pisces and Virgo, because of them both relating to the gut, right? And so what I want you to remember as we're moving through these transits, these energies, and I have for you, so this video, obviously this is Venus, right? And there's the hertz, the frequency, and it just got done going through Mercury. So this is Music for Body and Spirit is the channel, and it is called Cosmic Octave, and it's really long. It's like 11 hours long, but I just felt to have it on because it's really important to, right, there's our map and a system that will accurately assist us, right, is the planetary bodies. And because they directly impact our physical bodies, our energy bodies. We all know this. That's why why we're all on here, right, is a major key factor here. And so tuning into the consciousness of each of these planetary bodies for yourself is there is going to be those like nuggets of information, right? There's wisdom for you there. And I feel this connection, especially when the moon moves into Virgo, early morning on Tuesday, the 8th, or a little bit later, right? Depending on where you are at. And given that Mercury, Venus, and the North Node are all in the same gate 36 of crisis resolution, and we have the South Node also in the same center in gate 6. And so this is, and I want to say that's conflict resolution. But the fact remains of, right, all of these helping us, we go into these waves of destabilization. And right, in purpose though, to bring our awareness. So I feel that this is going to, especially now that Mercury is stationing and will be going direct, that it is, and still in Pisces, still having this, Pisces stellium, and of course with Venus-Saturn conjunction, right? All of it contributing to information, and information that is being revealed from those deeper depths within us. Your reality is that feedback, right? It's the feedback loop. So your situations and circumstances and the relationships, all of it, and you can quite literally, the more that you connect into that wisdom within, right? The God intelligence in your soul that I talk so much about, as you strengthen and you build that connection and relationship, you can witness the changes in your environment, your reality in real time. And so I was drawn to bring your awareness to the planets. And just funny that it finished Mercury and is now on Venus as I film, because we know that Venus is going to station direct with the full moon in Libra this coming weekend. And we know that that is a big completion of things, release. And so as these energies are in the emotions, solar plexus center, and it's bringing your awareness and attention to that gut feeling, but more in focusing on the feeling, and keeping it simple, because we are digesting so much, and you may be experiencing some, stomach upset, GI upset, the fatigue, right? A lot of detoxification symptoms in different ways, headache, the neck area, and with the throat center. This is what I want you to pay attention. So this is for the next couple of days. Information for the next couple of days is to focus on the information that is coming up, or you are encountering perhaps, and be able to focus on an aspect at a time and tune into that God intelligence within your soul, right? And make that connection with your higher self, because your higher self, it's like the translator for your soul, right? The soul speaks in vibration, it speaks in frequency, and your higher self will translate that into, right, process words that you can interpret and translate and understand. And so as things reveal themselves to you, this information, and everything that you're taking in, right, is information. And I've been talking about the eyes, especially with being in Aries season. And so there's a lot that we're taking in to our eyes. It's really important for what you are observing, what you are looking at, right? And how that then is received, right, through the to the back of the eye, to the rods and cones of the eyes, which are ruled by Aquarius, which, right, Pluto is in. And I am receiving that it is, so it is getting into the deeper, right, into those depths, and being able to, all of this energy is asking you to face those fears, right? It is supporting you in doing so, and to let go of these old patterns, you know, beliefs, limiting beliefs and things like that, and to really connect to your individual spirit nature. That's why, right, the last video, I think I had titled Release the Rules and Trust Your Nature. And we're still very much in that, and learning to trust that awareness within you. So I talked about, said it very bluntly in the last video, you are the divine plan, right? So to pay attention to this information. Now, while the moon is in Virgo, this is where we start becoming very aware of, and especially with the nodes, right? Leaky gut, sluggish liver. A lot of people are experiencing all of that. Or perhaps just becoming aware of that and how that relates to the information that is coming in. So as I had begun to say, the information coming through the eyes, passing through the rods and cones, right? This is the light and dark, being able to see in the light and dark, right? Things are, your lens is changing, your perception lens is changing with all of these energies, and how they are transmitting. You may be noticing too your ability to be outside and where maybe not put your sunglasses on right away, or not putting your eyeglasses on until, you know, unless you totally need to, right? Because your eyes are changing. There is, like, as everything is up leveling, we know it is this really long initiation and this up leveling that's taking place. And so, right, as uncomfortable as it may be, energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, right, we're feeling it at all levels. And so that shift that is taking place, and where you're doing physical changes along the way, to assist your process and see, you know, this is part of this energy too, is as much as like facing fears, or perhaps like cherished illusions that may now be breaking, right? Love David's phrase, shattered reality, like that's right, still happening. But it's all in purpose, right? For this, you know, let's say long-term expression and creation and experience. And so as that then goes through in the optic nerve, and then how that, right, connects into like all the cranial nerves, of course the vagus nerve, and this is where we start getting into that houses the beliefs, and getting into the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, right? That like peaceful, calm, fight or flight, trying to stay centered and balanced, and especially if your authority is like emotional, right? To ride that wave and come back to your center point, right? Being neutral. And then we're just embracing the more, especially if you have gate 36 in your design, it's learning to like let go of the anxiety that can very much come up in having that active within your design, But when it's, as soon as you let that go and you embrace the experience and you just ask, what is this experience teaching me, right? That anxiety starts to dissipate. It starts to lessen a great deal. And that experience, right, becomes a teacher and a source of wisdom rather than, right, pain or your enemy. So that's this major shift that we are experiencing with these energies, right, in the astrological transits, in the current human design transit, all in support of this great shift that is happening within us, where we are attuning, right, going through this attunement process. And it is this deep connecting to the depths within you. And that is leading to, it's assisting in bringing out that courage and to be initiated, right, into something new that can change your life forever. And it's a really big deal, and it is in stepping in and up and out that is in this energy right now. So as I talked about last time in these patterns, from like the mind, the brain, and the heart, and so now moving into, right, like the solar plexus, where those Mercury, Venus, and the North Node and the South Node are. And so and you have to remember too that the saboteur archetype resides in the solar plexus. So being very aware, paying attention to the gut feeling too, and making a continuous conscious effort in connecting with your soul intelligence and higher self for clear guidance, as emotions are, vacillating on the emotional spectrum. And but you'll note if you flow with it, right, move through it quite quickly, right, moving through processes quite quicker than we used to, that's for sure. But this is a good thing, right? And so in paying attention to like how you are digesting it, and remember that you are digesting these things, which means you are, such a major part of Virgo is transformation as it digests through the system, and where you are, especially in the gut, where it relates to like the microbiome of the gut, Virgo and Pisces, and the, good bacteria and bad bacteria, right? And there's like this balance. And right now we are binding and pushing out the bad guys, bugs, bacteria, and while at the same time building the healthy bacteria, the healthy gut lining, right? A lot of heal and repair and restoration taking place, but you also have to bind the negative stuff, the bad stuff, and be eliminating that, right? So this is impacting us physically, right? So that's why I've been talking about, of course, the silver fern with the nano scrub, with the nano frequency charged silver, AG404, 22 parts per million, with the daily gut cleanse supplement with immunoglobulins. So that does that. It binds all of the bad stuff and pushes it out while building that healthy gut barrier. So taking them together, deep scrub clean, and right, binding and building. And that's what we are doing also energetically down into at the DNA level, right? And all of the geomagnetics and the solar flares, all of that activity, bringing in those frequencies that are, I see them kind of almost looks like fireflies, and how they're loose right now, and there's no pattern yet. As we are processing through all of these old patterns and beliefs, we are disrupting the old patterns and the distorted codes, and like digesting, right, as they're transmuting and transforming. And then those frequencies, it looks like when it is time, and this is why you want to stay in tune and connected with your soul intelligence and higher self, because the timing, right? It's divine timing. We're not forcing, but we're not don't want to not do anything either, right? We want to stay balanced. And so as we attune, and this is, right, the most aligned way, because you want to fully allow that process of transformation, right? This is how we alchemize things. And just like, let's take the gut cleaning process, right, with the supplements, for example. You want to do that long enough that so it's is full effect, not you do it for a month and you're good. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen for anyone. It's a full process, right? You have to go through the whole thing, and for it to be like a permanent change, right, in the environment. And so when you want that permanent change, the alchemy taking place in within you, the codes, right, in your blueprint, DNA, right, it's a process, because we are at this particular dimension and frequency vibration. And there's so as it aligns, this process taking place, I see the like firefly, right, frequency, it aligns almost like two magnets, and then they come together, and then boom, activation. So there's going to be a series of this taking place over time as I'm seeing it. Let's see what essential oils going to help us out. I know that kind of extends past the couple days, that last bit there, but got one that flipped and a couple that flipped over here. So beautiful. We have eucalyptus. Okay. Now this is the oil of renewal, oil of well-being. This is great for your adrenals. Okay. So it is time to embrace a new way of being. I love that. One filled with health and the freedom to create a new reality. You just can't make it up. And so I'm just going to leave that right there, because that just says it all. And then we have Siberian fir. And what I love about this one coming out is, so this is, the fir oils have a lot to do with generational healing. And Siberian fir is specifically for like the mature soul. You are seeing things from that mature soul perspective, right? You've gone through the growth. You can shift into gratitude for and thank the past generations for all that you have learned. You are a new chapter and a new beginning. And so lay down the armor passed down to you from your family. Release, what does that say? Release habits that are not serving you and forgive on behalf of generations past. And then we have clary sage, oil of clarity and vision. So clear vision. This connect with your higher self and allow to be guided to your higher purpose. As the veil of illusion falls away, you will find your answer. I love that. There is a higher purpose is the true statement on this card. It's insight. So, right, the message coming from these three oils is you are receiving the information, right, in the past. You're letting go. You're shifting into gratitude, and you are embracing what is showing up for you, right? As I talked about in the last video, what is that experience teaching you, right? And you're taking that in. You're digesting the information, receiving that wisdom, gaining the insight and gaining the clarity and renewing and resetting and realigning, right? What is your individual true nature. I do have the Sacred Rebels deck to offer a little bit of more assistance. I haven't used these in a while, but it felt to come through. Oh, I love it. Card 41, bring it into form. And so there's a focus on, there's a lot of sacred geometry, there's a lot of, and they actually have these light frequencies that have wings. They kind of look like dragonflies a little bit, which is dragonflies do connect with illusion, right, and dream, and to bring that, right, this is your higher vision as you connect into it and be bringing it into form. 41 is, right, a 5 of, we know that's the number of change. And so like there's things happening within your structure and connecting with the self and the soul, and that desire and vision coming from the soul. That's why you connect with the blind seer in the backside of your third eye. It reveals this vision, and right, coming through your dreams, which are quite interesting right now, and bringing it into form. You got to take the steps, right? But we see like it's the legs, the feet, they're walking, right? This is not like a running, sprinting thing. So this is where you're being very conscious and deliberate with your inspired steps, diving for light. And so what, and this is 11. So I feel this of where you are, because all of this distortion is getting cleared in the light. And so begin to gain clarity, right? And then to shine your light, and quite literally, right? When you are in alignment and you are just, you're totally in sync and listening to your soul's guidance, and you are living that way, you are expressing that way, you are taking your actions from that place within you. How often do you hear when you are in that groove, like you're glowing, or you know, you seem so bright, perhaps even you look younger than you are, you know, all of those things. And it's quite literal in your DNA, right? That is literally made of light emanating from you. And that I'm just getting like a flashback to that. There's that book, of course, Celestine Prophecy, and they made a movie. It is such a B movie, but nonetheless, right? When the people are vibing higher, right? Where they are aligned with their soul and higher self, and they're able to vibe at a higher, so now they're in a higher dimensional state of consciousness, right? They are like kind of glowy, right? Or if you are able to work with your vision, and let's just say like a tree or a plant, for instance, and you exercise your vision to now you can start to see like the aura of the trees or the plants, and they become, so if you do a lot of midbrain work, you'll be able to do this, like they're glowing. It's pretty wild and very cool at the same time. And so that's what I feel like diving for light is translating in this particular reading. And then we got beyond the mind, the heart beats, right? So even though we have a lot that is happening in the mind, there right now we do need to focus into the heart, and the feeling is very important, because all of the programming that's been embedded in the mind, right? All of that changing. So that's why it's also very important to be anchored in your heart, and feeling into, even the emotions, like I said, are going to vacillate, but you keep realigning and reconnecting yourself. I hope you'll have a wonderful couple of days. And yes, I'll see you next time.